Happy Tuesday, sweethearts. How y'all doing? It's sun's trying to peek out. Can you see it? Oh wow, look at do you see that? Can't see it with the naked eye, but wow, did you see that face right there? It almost looks like a deer with a great big rack on its head. Me, I see everything in the clouds and all this stuff. Today we're going to start feeling a heavier, dense energy that's really going to continue coming in, sweet ones, and it's really going to culminate on Thursday, if you will. And again, this is just really, good morning, Roger. Big hugs and blessings, sweetheart. This is really just for us to stay in our peaceful space, in our heart, hold space in love, and really not get entangled and engaged with all of this that these heavy energies are bringing out. And you know, some of the deepest core issues within this planet, as far as the planetary side of this. Good morning, Michelle, Sherry, Roberta. Big hugs and blessings. Some of the deepest and most ingrained, if you will, karmic energies within the planet that are coming up to be released, and you're seeing it in the physical plane, is racism and prejudicism. And again, sweethearts, it's not limited to just skin color. It's not limited to just blacks and whites. Racism and prejudice goes in every element, every aspect, in every way you can apply it, it is there. But what has happened over the course of humanity's journeys, for millennium of years, is people segregated into racism and prejudice just being a black and white thing. And black and white not only in skin color, but in religions, in spirituality, in every aspect, cultures, everything. The way we live, everything, it can be brought down to black and white, including light and dark. And this is the karmic energy that has been so deeply embedded in the planet, in Gaia. We're at the very bottom of it, guys. We're at the very, very depths of the last part of our journey. You know, we have to dig deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper until we got to the very core issues that, again, directly tie into the trinity of undeserving, unworthiness and undeserving, abandonment and rejection, and prejudicism and racism tie directly into that. Good morning, Heather. Good morning, Roberta. Good morning, Brandon. Big hugs, Stephanie. Big hugs and blessings to all you. Roberta, wow, this really is live, and yep, feeling it and seeing it all about me and pulling on for what I'm seeing here in Granada. It's about divide and rule. Good morning, Alexandra. And Alexander. And that's what it is. And sweet ones, this is really giving us, whether we're awakened or unawakened, this is really giving us a grand, grand opportunity to really put these issues to rest in a very gentle, most gracious way. Now, I understand from the human side of ourselves, from living this human life, I understand, overstand, and understand the prejudice and the racism. And you know, I'm not going to get into a debate of who is right or wrong, because in my own space, my own spirit, again, I can see it through like 12 sets of lenses here, and I see where it needs to be healed and transform the energy in every way, shape, and form. And, you know, and I'm going to tie it into this NFL stuff and in everything else. This is an opportunity for us, instead of getting mad, instead of engaging in it, well, if you're racist, Unfriend me. If you feel this way, unfriend me. That's creating more separation, sweet ones. And what we really need to do is bring us together in this. You cannot sit down and have a conversation about racism, about skin color, about religion, about culture, about creeds. It don't matter. It has everything ties into it. It's all prejudice it's all judgment, prejudice in one way or another. It's not limited to black and white, light and dark, cabal and light workers, skin color. It really comes down to segregation in any way, shape, and every way, shape, and form, and aspect and element of it. And this is something that we all have to clear from our energetic cellular memory imprints. This is not just for the blacks to heal it, the black skinned people. This is not for just the pink and the white skinned people to heal it. This is something that we as a globe, we as a world, we as societies, we as creeds, we as cultures, we as religions, we as spiritual light beings, we as humans, we in every lens has to clear and 0 point and neutralize this energetic behavior imprint that is in our cellular DNA, memory DNA. And so really what is being presented with everything that is, again, the dominoes are falling into the physical plane, if you will. And this is really giving us all an opportunity to, again, strip away the labels as far as black and white, light and dark, cabal and light workers. It's asking us to strip away the layers, the labels, and get to the core issue. And sweethearts, the core issue goes farther back than skin color. And the core issue is deeper than black and white. And this is really truly giving us all the opportunities to really go deep within us, strip away the aspect of how it's been categorized into black and white, categorized into skin color, yada, 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 and really look at the true energy that is being presented. Racism and prejudice is in every aspect. It is not just between the black and the whites. And until we as a collective and we as individuals can address those issues within ourselves, because, look at it like this. The core issue of racism and prejudice is abandonment and rejection. Those are the issues that have to be healed, sweet ones. It has nothing to do with skin color. We just have been ingrained to segregate. And so, Peter, Poraz, you just asked to join this, and I don't even know how to allow you to join it, honey. It pops up, but I don't even know that part of it. And so, sweet ones, really take the opportunity that's being presented to each of us and to all of us as a collective to really observe the underlying energy. Strip away the labels of black and white. Strip away the description that racism and prejudice is strictly limited to black and white. And when you can allow yourselves to observe that, and when you can allow yourselves to do that, sweethearts, you will see that prejudice and racism is in every facet of our life. Every judgment is a prejudice. Every opinion is a judgment, which is a prejudice, which puts us in a space of racism, because racism, again, is not just skin color. Racism is we're racist against Mormons. We're racist against because you're Christians. We're racist because you're a Muslim. We're racist because you think this way. We're racist because your skin color is this way. We're racist because your culture is different than ours. We're racist because you speak a different language. I mean, again, sweet ones, it is not just down to just skin color, which is what we as a globe has been, again, segregated and put in a box of the blacks against the whites. And when we can, as a collective, as a community, as all that we are, when we can step back, when we can observe, and when we can dig deeper within to ourselves, we'll see that truly it's not about black and white, light and dark. It goes so much deeper than that. And when we can take away the descriptions, when we can take away the labels, and we can look at the energy underneath of it, racism and prejudice has been present within our cellular memory DNA for millennium of years. I mean, and until we as individuals can clear and transform and neutralize that energy, what makes us think that as a collective we can just heal the fact and say we're not racist because we're on a spiritual journey? We've let go of those issues of prejudice and racism, and I accepted you that you're pink, that you're black, that you're red, you're green, and you're yellow, and leave it at that. And then something else comes up, and then it goes right back to being black and white again. And the purpose for that is because it's not about black and white, sweethearts. And it's never been about black and white. We have been mind manipulated to keep it that way. We have been deliberately programmed to put us in a box, within a box, within a box, within a box, within a box. And racism and prejudice, sweet ones, this between the blacks and the whites, is just another box given to us to define us and keep us in separation. And until we as a globe, as a world, as a collective consciousness can come together and really go within ourselves and clear and transform racism and prejudice, the energy behind it rather than the labels. Because, you know, for so long we're trying to heal the labels of black and white. Racism and prejudice in a sense of black and white, or any red, green, orange, brown, gray, it don't matter. And so that's what this energy is leading us into. And it's really going to really come to a head, if you will, in a very harsh, the energy is going to continue to get more denser, if you will. And what it's doing is it's pushing us to face these deep core issues. Again, we're right at, energetically, we have lined up as a globe. We have linked our hands. We're here together, making a difference, those of us that are awake, and we're pushing through. We've already pushed through it energetically, physically. Now we're pushing through this last veil on the physical plane. And this is going to be the one, sweet ones, that is going to bring up a lot of anger. This is the one that's going to bring up all of those issues, because again, we've been put into a box of black and white. We've been put into a box of racism and prejudice. And we have been made to believe and be convinced that it has to do with skin color and that it is only black and white. And sweethearts, racism and prejudice goes a heck of a lot deeper than that. And that's why it is never what the physical presents, sweethearts. There's always something unseen, unheard, hidden. And this is that core, one of those core issues that tie into that Trinity, which explodes the one of trust. And that is unworthiness, rejection, and abandonment. And really, sweethearts, again, I can't tell you what to do. I can only decode it for you and show the layers within the layers within the layers. Everything is a polarity. And until we can change the energy of the true nature of where racism and prejudice started at the very core, the surface of this black and white, light and dark cabal and light workers cannot be fully transformed. Because we have on the outside perimeters, the perimeters of the box they put us in, they labeled it black and white and said it was racism and prejudicism. But it goes, racism and prejudice underlines every one of our experiences because it's a core issue. And it is one of the deepest core wounds in our cellular memory DNA. And this is going to test, if you will, for lack of a better way of saying it, the integrity of every single one of us on the spiritual journey. This is going to test because it's going to push us. And it's going to push us, and it's going to push us this next 3 days to really see how open our hearts are when we get down to the core issues. If we can stand in the middle of chaos of the deepest wounds of this planet, and not only the deepest karmic energy embedded within this planet, but the deepest wounds in the core of each one of us here that walk this earth right now. And that is the true energy behind racism and prejudice that we have been convinced is black and white. And as long as we react in anger, you cannot sit down and have a peaceful conversation about this subject without somebody getting triggered, without somebody getting butthurt, without somebody getting angry. Why is that, sweet ones? Because, and that doesn't go for a few select people. That don't go just for the white people and just for the black people. That goes for humanity as a globe. And why is that? Because it's the deepest core issue we have is karmic energy in this planet. And it's the deepest core wound in all of humanity. And we have been tricked to believe it's just between the black and the whites. And it's not. And this is going to test, if you will, us on just if we can be that pillar of peace, if we can be that example, if we can be the divine light beings that we are in the midst of the chaos, without falling back into the trap of getting engaged in what the physical world is presenting. This is probably, I can't say probably, from what my spirit, look at, I got goosebumps too, from what my spirit is telling me. This is literally going to test the divine responsibility of our masteryship. Because these are the very things that is going to release. And again, there's nothing wrong with releasing emotions. Remember, the planet Gaia is releasing all of the karmic energy, and this is the heaviest karmic energy that lies in this planet, is racism and prejudicism. And so you're really going to feel it coming to a head. You're really going to, this heavy energy is going to force this stuff up. But by the same token, it's going to release the anger. It's going to release the fear. It's going to release so much energy into the collective. Because not only will humanity, you know how you just, when you've had enough and you just scream and let it go, and then afterwards you feel better? Or you have to burp, and after you burp you feel better? Well, that's what's going to that is what is taking place right now, sweethearts. Good morning, Adela. Good morning, Rhonda, Patricia, Anita, Perez, Rachel, Essane, Jody, anybody I may speak because I'm blessing, sweet ones. This is a glorious, glorious moment, guys, because it's challenging to humanity during these next few days, well, a few months, but right now we're going to focus on right now. This isn't going to go away. And it's not going to go away because for millennium, thousands of years, we've We've been trying to address it and heal it from a black and white standpoint. And sweet ones, this is where we have to step into our mastery, whether there is the majority still unawakened and that will react, that will engage, will participate in this anger, in this, creation started with the blacks. No, creation started, well, Jesus is black. I mean, it's going to go in every direction, sweet ones. It's going to bring it up. You're seeing it in the NFL. You're seeing it in the governments. As these worlds continue to split, this is the core issue. And again, racism and prejudice isn't limited to black and white and light and dark. We've been manipulated to put it into those two categories. And truly, this has given us the opportunity for all of us that are on our awakening and on the spiritual journey to truly come together, to unite, and to neutralize this energy, because this is karmic energy that has been embedded into this planet from the time it was taken over. And again, it can't go onto the 5D grid Earth, sweet ones. And the only way to heal this in humanity is to neutralize and transform the energetic behavior pattern behind it that is withheld in the cellular memory DNA of every being on this planet. And the ancestors, it's in the DNA, genetically, planetarily, all of it. And so I ask, I can't tell you, I ask and I encourage each of us to truly see beyond what the surface is presenting. See beyond the boxes of black and white, light and dark. See behind and get to the core issue within yourselves. Because that's where we change it, is within us. Because until we change that energetic behavior pattern within our own cellular memory DNA, we cannot change it collectively. You can't start from the outside without going in the inside. And the only way to change this physical aspect of this racism and this prejudicism and this skin color, yada, 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 is get to the true core issue. And those core issues is racism and prejudice is not limited to skin color and light and dark that we have been manipulated to believe it to be. It comes down to the fact that we abandoned ourselves the second we were born into the physical plane. The second we came out of the womb, we veiled ourselves. And the second we veiled ourselves, we automatically put the imprint of rejection, unworthiness, undeserving, and abandonment into our cellular DNA. And from that point on, prejudice and racism was born as well. Those are the core issues. And until we can, as a collective, as a humanity, from a planetary collective, individual, and global aspect, until we can heal that energetic pattern within our own individual, unique cellular DNA, we cannot clear it out of the physical plane, sweet ones. And so we're going into an energy right now that is going to trigger you, me, all of us in a space of seeing where there is any prejudice, any racism held within our cellular DNA. And again, that's not limited to skin color. That's not limited to a spirit, to the awakened versus the unawakened. Because for as much as you are awakened and as much as they are unawakened, the answer is always going to be found in its polarity. And so, I really encourage and ask you guys for the next couple days to really observe the hidden in this and change that energetic behavior pattern from going deep within ourselves right now, because we We're going to push through this energy together. But this is the one thing that is going to show us if we truly are ready to be in unity. We already are oneness. But oneness doesn't mean that you can only think from the higher mind. You are a unique individual expression of the Creator and of the highest light, if you allow yourselves to be. And there is no room. No, you do not. You get in here. Thank you. There is no room for that energy on the actual 5D grid frequency. And so this is what's coming up, sweethearts. And this is going to be, well, to what? This is going to be a very challenging opportunity. I'm trying not to use the words hard, difficult, challenging, but again, this week, we've already energetically broke through the veils. This week, now we're having to do it on the physical aspect of things, the physical plane of things. And this is going to test, the one conversation that will change the energy in any way, shape, or form is bring up the subject of prejudice or racism. You want to know how awakened you are? Go sit in a room and bring up the subject, and let's see how quick that energy changes. And that's what's being presented right now in every way. The prejudice against our country, our governments, the anger, all of that's coming up to be released because the dominoes are falling. But by the same token, you cannot heal something, you cannot transform it, you cannot neutralize it when you're trying to have a conversation, when you're angry and you're shouting, no, it's going to bring up anger. It has to be dealt with. Well, it can't be dealt with from an emotional space. You cannot change a pattern, sweethearts, in the same space it was created. You cannot change an energy pattern from the same space it was created, from the same frequencies, from the same energy. And this is where we need to dig within ourselves. And you want a peaceful life. You want peace in the world, sweet ones? Well, look at this as your initiation. Because this is the one energetic behavior pattern that people cannot remain neutral in. They cannot remain emotionally detached. We cannot, I say they, and I'm really referring to all of us, and myself included. So look at this really on the physical aspect as your greatest initiation, your grandest initiation, because it's really going to test you to see if you can be that pillar of peace that you say you want. This is going to show us where there is still any judgment withheld within us, where there is any opinion left within us that keeps us not in unity. And the journey is back to one to expand that wisdom and knowledge out through each of us. It's not for us just to come back to oneness and just stay in one and have no personality or no expression. You're here to be the living word of the Creator as you experience life for the Creator through you. And it's that wisdom, that knowledge, that love, that is the space we're going into. And without us clearing this core energy that's imprinted in our DNA, we as a collective, we as a globe, we as humanity in and of itself will not be able to come into full unity. And that is what is, again, being presented. And it's really going to come into a very dense, heavy energy come Thursday. But it's going to push each of us. And it's going to push us to see if we're going to explode and give in. It's going to push us on just how anchored into our mastery we are. Because if we're getting triggered by anything in this outside world, observe it and trace it back. But this will push us. It's going to push up against us, and we're either going to let it keep pushing us until we explode or engage, participate, whatever, or we're going to push back and say, not in my world, not no more. We're done with this energy, and we're going to transmute it, and we're going to transform it. I'm not going to engage. I'm not going to react. I'm not going to become angry over something that is there literally just to trigger me, and that's where we have to be in that pillar of peace. And so, sweet ones, really observe this energy for what it is, and it truly is not about light and dark, black and white, or skin color. It goes much deeper than that. So, I can't tell you what to do, but I can encourage you to really see beyond, see through, see around this, see above it, see below it, and know that racism and prejudice is a core energetic behavior pattern imprint within all of humanity, within every soul that has to be released. That, not just that, Marlene, this is about all of it. This is, it's coming, the energy is coming up. They're trying, people are trying to separate it into about the NFL and this and that, black and white, and, racism and everything else. And I'm showing how the racism and the prejudice really has nothing to do with the boxes that they've put us in as light and dark, black and white, and skin color. That it truly goes down into the deep core issues of our cellular memory imprinted in our DNA. And that's what this is about, Marlene. And so, because, we're even racist and prejudiced within our families, within our friendships, within our marriages, or within our jobs. Prejudice and racism has, we've been made to believe it's just about skin color, and it's not. It goes so much deeper than that, and that's what this is presenting us and giving us. Again, it's all opportunities. Some can look at them as tests, initiations. I just try to give it definition to help the human mind aspect try and understand a little of what's going on, but the mind will never be able to wrap its mind fully around this. And so this is very, very magically transforming energy, sweethearts. It's just being presented as, again, as everything else on our journeys. The physical world is there as a role to trigger us. And right now, again, this is triggering us from a whole global, collective, planetary level, not just an individual wound within ourselves. Like, my boyfriend hurt me, so now I gotta dig deeper. Okay, this experience came from this wound. We're talking, this is a planetary wound. This is planetary karmic energy being released of thousands upon thousands upon thousands of years. And we know energy will find its own way to present itself, and it's coming up in this NFL thing, and it's coming up in other things. And again, it's trying to present itself as light and dark, black and white cabal against the light. And those of us who know anything about energy understand It's never what the physical presents. Chad says we can't engage in this situation. The hell with it. I don't even acknowledge, but I will protect myself. There's no need to be protected. You're protected in every given minute. In every given minute. But unless it's acknowledged by each of us individually and healed within ourselves, that is going to prevent the individual from being able to maintain the highest frequencies of love on the 5D grid. This is a core, again, a core issue. And this is a core energetic imprint that has to be released. And, you know, we're the conduits of this karmic energy coming up from the planet, and it's up to us, because this is a global and collective thing. This is a core issue for every culture, creed, religion, nation, you know, country, everything. And, you know, it's easy for us to sit here and say, you know, I'm not racist, I'm not prejudiced, I'm not this, I'm not that. But again, our mind has been programmed to link that to black and white, light and dark. And when you allow yourselves to let go of that and to dig deeper, and to dig deeper, and to dig deeper, and to dig deeper, racism, prejudice truly exists in everything. And because it is something that is imprinted at the very core level of our soul. We've healed and transformed the layers on top of it, and now we're at the very bottom bale, if you will, that we're breaking through. And I brought, Daniel, let me see what you're saying here. I've brought up this because I have people in NFL that I'm into. My answer to them is, I'm for anyone who wants to stand up for what they think is right. Just don't let someone create a shitstorm where there isn't one. We need not to be distracted by the same old crap. And, you know, it's, again, you know, as long as you don't put it into a definition, into a box, you know, some people will think it's great that people are standing up. Others are thinking it's bad. Well, when you look at it, it's both, you know, and they both serve its purpose. And that's the beauty of this. And until people can dig deeper in their own comments, their own opinions, their own judgments, their own beliefs, their own feelings on whether it's Trump, whether it's the NFL, whatever it may be, until we can observe our own thoughts, emotions, and feelings and dig deeper, you know, that's just the surface presentation. And the NFL with this, you know, again, people are going to see it through whatever lens and frequency they're at. And you cannot have a conversation about something when from a neutral standpoint, if there's any wounds that exist. And, you know, it's easy to sit there and say, not in my world, and push it away. It's easy to sit there and say, I'm not going to engage and participate it. But unless the core energetic behavior pattern has been neutralized, has been zero-pointed, has been reprogrammed, sweet ones, and transformed, you can push it away. You cannot not deal with it or whatever, but it will present itself. And that's why I say, you know, this is really an opportunity for us to really see through it. That it's not about light and dark, a cabal and light workers. It's not about unawakened and awakened. It's not about skin color, black and white. It goes down much deeper than that. And until that can be recognized, until the individual, each individual one of us can recognize, acknowledge, become aware, it cannot be transformed. And truly, It has nothing to do with light and dark, black and white, skin color, or anything else. Racism and prejudice is something that is prevalent in every moment, every aspect of the 3D life physical plane. That 3D matrix. And until you can get to the very deep core issue, which is collectively and planetary we're at, on the individual unique journey of each of us, that depends on the frequency and how much inner work you have done and inner healing you have released as to where you are at on that aspect of it, of healing that core wound. And if you're at the core, or if you're just still within the layers above the core issue. But the core issue of this globally, planetarily, collectively right now, and individually, is racism and prejudice, is an energetic behavior pattern within the cellular memory DNA, and these are opportunities to rather engage, get butthurt, get angry, get emotional, and continue to participate in it. This is really just a series of great, great opportunities giving us a chance to give it a final death, if you will, to neutralize it back to 0 point to where it will once and for all change the underlying energetic behavior pattern in the memories, in the cellular DNA memories. And from there on, again, everything starts in energy first. And when you change the energy, it will change the outcome. And until we individually can change that memory, energetic memory imprint in our cellular DNA, it will not fully be healed from the collective or from the planet. And that's where we're at right now. So, sweet ones, I love you. Big, big hugs and blessings. Really allow yourselves, if you choose, to see above, beyond, below, through the physical of what it, and the emotions and the distrust and everything that is really coming up to be presented. This really heavy, harsh, dense energy that's coming, that's going to really truly be pushing up against you to see if you're just going to take it and engage in it, or if you're going to push it back and say, okay, I'm strong enough to see the core issue here. I'm strong enough to change it. I'm strong enough to see through this. And I will step into the integrity of my mastery, and I will be that pillar of peace, that pillar of love, that pillar of calm, because that is the world I am wanting. That is the world I am creating. And see the pattern and change the energy behind it, sweet ones. And we'll do this together. Hand in hand, side by side. I love you guys too. If you let the issues into your life, then you become that we are masters of realizations that we want to project. And it is beautiful. But in the process of, people, and I'm going to state it this way, people on the journey, all of us, have come to a space that, we are one mind, we are one heart, we are in one world, and we are. I'm the first, I've said that for years. I used to post it all the time, and I stopped. But we are a unique individual expression. You come back into wholeness, into oneness, through your remembering and your journey. But then you don't stay, well, let me restate that. You stay in that oneness space of energy, yet you allow it to expand out in every aspect. It's like that hourglass. It's like, wings of a butterfly. You don't stay just in the middle. You walk the middle path, but you expand out all the love and all the wisdom and all the knowledge and all this from a different space. And that's where unity comes in. That you still can allow everybody and each and everything and every moment and every breath to be that unique individual expression, that unique individual living word. But it comes and have that unique personality coming from the wisdom and the knowledge you gain from being in the middle path, from being in the full wisdom of that 0 point. It's not that you go back into oneness, and unity means you all have to talk the same, you all have to act the same. You know, that's not what unity is. And unity means that we have returned, we've remembered that we all come from one great big energy source, and then we allow that oneness to expand out into unity. And that's what we're coming into, is unity of that oneness that we already are. We're not returning to oneness. You can't return to something you already are and have always been. But we can return and bring ourselves back into unity. And that's the glory of these moments right now, and that's what these energies are presenting. So, on that note, it's coffee time. I love you, sweethearts. Big, big, big hugs and blessings. And no, you know, these energies are heavy collectively and planetarily. They are heavy. They are dense. But we're more powerful than that. This is coming up just to release the last of those back veils along our hearts. And I say the back veils because that is the back. It is those back veils that are being released. And again, we take away the vessels, sweet ones. All we are is the energy and the frequency and the vibration of love. So why allow this outside physical world to continue to control and dictate your emotions over a manipulated simulation that you have been put into of a box of black and white, light and dark? Allow it to be released, sweet ones, and set yourselves free, and set us as a collective free, and Gaia, allow her to be free of the karmic energies. Have a great day, guys. Big, big, big hugs and blessings, sweethearts. I love you. Find the magic in the moment. Embrace the magic. Breathe the magic, because it's here. Enjoy the transformation. Happy Tuesday. Bye-bye now.